Hey everybody, it's John, owner of The Simplest Biz, about the pallet business. Before we move any further, if you have any questions about the pallet business, want to learn more about the pallet business, go to thepalletcourse.com and you'll get a lot more information. Today's video is very important. We're digging into the numbers. We are comparing your hourly wage job, your salary wage job, and different examples of what you're currently doing compared to the pallet business. And we're going to use example after example to kind of help you understand the difference between the two. So if you're gravitating to wanting to do something different, you have an idea what these numbers are, okay? I'm not exaggerating numbers or anything. I'm doing what current numbers are as far as the pallet business and potentially what the range of where you are currently, okay? So let's start off. Your hourly wage versus the pallet business. Example one, you're working 40 hours a week. You're making $15 an hour, which comes to $600 per week for a 40-hour week. We're going to exclude overtime. We're going to exclude taxes. We're just saying you got a $600 income you're bringing home per week, okay? Versus the pallet business. The pallet business, one load of pallets equals about 120 at about $9 a piece is the going rate these days. So that's $1,080 for one load of pallets. How long does it take for you to execute that order? Well, it takes anywhere for me, it takes about 30, 35 minutes to actually drive in. They load on the pallets. I strap them down, go 4 or 5 blocks down the road to the business that needs them. They unstrap them, unload them. That's a 30, 35 minute process. But I'm putting 35 minutes to 2 hours even in this example, okay? In case let's say you were getting out there and you were nervous or you had to drive across town to start with, and it was a 2 hour process. Regardless, 35 minutes to 2 hours is what I'm talking about. That load I'm referring to, this is more like 18 pallets, but I certainly can fit 20. So on this 6 loads of 20, so we're talking 120 times $9 is $1,080. All right. So there's a comparison in that 35 minute to 2 hour window. This compared to your job. So how many hours would you have to work? Your job at $15 an hour, and that number is 72. So why is that? Because in this particular business model, we don't trade time for money. We trade units for money. How many loads of this would you have to do a week to double your income? Just a couple. Apparently, if you're at $15 an hour and you're doing $1,080 per load, say you're renting a truck and having to back out $125, $135, still worth it. You did 2 loads a week, that's $1,800. Let's say you were making $7 a pallet instead of $9 a pallet. Pallet prices have almost doubled this year from last year. So even at that, we're at that's still an $800 something get per load, right? So let's go to example 2. Let's say you're making $20 an hour and you're working 40 hours a week. That comes to $800. I'm going to use the same example I did a minute ago for the pallets. 120 pallets at $9 per unit. So that's 6 stacks of 20 would come to 120 pallets. That's $1,080. Time to execute, again, 35 minutes to 2 hours per load. I can't imagine doing it for 2 hours. It hadn't taken me that long, and I don't remember the last time. I guess when I went down to Montgomery. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. How many hours would it take you to have to work your job to make $1,080 at $20 an hour? That number, if you do the math, is 54. 54 hours in comparison to what we're talking about here. Starting to sink in? I hope so, because we're going to dive even deeper. Let's say you're a salary job. You're making $1,400 a week, and you're working 40 plus hours per week. If you're working salary, listen, they are not going to allow you to get away with working 40 hours a week. right? When you're working salary, a lot of times they're going to be working you 40, 45, 50 hours a week, getting that money out of you because you're a salaried employee. Same example, $1,080 with the same amount, 6 stacks of 20, 120 pallets, 12-foot long, 8-foot wide flatbed truck. You can rent one as well, as we just discussed. So for you to make $1,080 at $1,400 a week, you're still going to have to work 30.8 hours. And we're talking one load of pallets in comparison. How many loads can you do in a week? How many 35-minute windows do you have in a week? That's where the numbers go crazy. I had a post in the group today, and the gentleman said, I made more money today than he did in 1/5 of his yearly income from his last gig. 1/5 of his yearly income in one day. I'll do another video on those type of posts in that particular one, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the numbers that can come into play, because we can move a lot of this stuff. Of course, it's not just pallets. But here's the real thing you need to understand. How much is your life worth on an hourly basis? How much are you worth on an hourly basis? Let's break that down. And some people aren't going to quite get this right when I go over these numbers, but you need to understand. There's 168 hours in the week, right? And that's $600 a week at a $15, $15 an hour get. So if we divided $600 by 168 hours, waking hours, sleeping hours, every hour of the day, you're worth $4.70 per hour when you're working $15 per hour. Well, I'm not working, John. I'm sleeping some of that time, and I'm working part of that time. Here's the problem. In this day and age, 2022, you have to know some things to make life work. You're never going to become rich working an hourly job. There's not enough hours in the day. Okay? Can you sustain a living? Yeah. So you ain't going to become wealthy doing this in this manner. You have to duplicate yourself. You have to learn how to make money while you sleep. That's why this number is important. Not the $4.70 per hour, but the fact that you're duplicating yourself, multiplying yourself with loads of pallets, as an example, or anything. Just in general, we have to teach you, or you need to learn how to get that $4.70 per hour of your waking and sleeping life up. How to make passive income in addition to it. So let's go down to these 3 reasons. I want to review this one more time. Every hour of the day, you are worth $4.70 per hour if you're making $600 a week. That's awake hours, sleeping hours, goofing off hours. 24 hours a day, you're worth $4.70. If you can learn these 3 things, you will never become rich working by the hour. You must learn how to make money while you sleep, and stop trading time for money and start trading units for money or whatever. Once you can get over that hurdle and change the way you make money and how much time it takes you to make money, your life changes. Your options change. Your freedom of life change. Your quality of life change. The quality for your family changes. So that's why I want to go over this data today. There's a huge difference on how you operate your life. I haven't worked for an hourly wage in a long time, many decades. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I couldn't stand it back in the day when I had to do it. And I had to figure out another way. And I want to help as many people out there change that circumstance for yourself as well. Go back over this video, see where you fit in, see what your number is. What is your hourly wage when you break it down to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? What does that come to? And how can you get that number up exponentially? Thanks. John Wilker, thesimplestbiz.com or thepalletcourse.com. Get some more information, book an appointment, and we'll go from there. Thanks for spending some time with me.